Welcome back to BST, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us on yet another episode. Crazy slate of NFL action today. I've been thinking all day. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with the power rankings because we have seen. The Colts lost, the Chiefs lost, the Lions lost, the Packers lost. Like, those are four of my top five teams who have lost, and I don't really know what's going to happen now. And I was talking with some of my buddies, and now it's like the top teams, like you got to say, are like the Rams, the Bills, and the Seahawks at this point have just the best resumes. And it's been a crazy season, and it gets even crazier. We're just going to talk about some of the games. And let's start with the Sunday Night Football game. This one kind of just be kind of a brief overview. Horrible game.
Not if you're a Seattle fan.
Yeah, it just makes me mad because like I'm at work all day. I can't watch the games, and then the one game I watch, and it's like this just absolute stomping.
28-0 before.
There's just no chance.
In a blink of an eye.
There's no chance for Washington. We'll just start with Washington. They are such a 1 year wonder. They got really lucky last year with they were the third pick in the draft or whatever it was, second pick in the draft. So, they did not have a great schedule, and they took advantage of that. And Jane Daniels was legitimately good last year, but they were also like 90% on fourth down. Yeah. And think of all the crazy moments they had. They had the Hail Mary.
Yeah.
They had that like really crazy sequence against Dallas where they scored that long touchdown. Yeah. I feel like they had a crazy game against Philly.
Then they got hot.
They just got hot. And I think that's where a lot of the hype came from, is they were really good in the playoffs, but I think they've kind of come down to earth, and they've had a ton of injuries this year. They can't keep McLaurin on the field.
The running game. They let Robinson go, right?
Yeah,
and he's done nothing where he went, but he was a big piece for them last year.
Yeah, and they've been trying to ride Bill Krosky-Merritt, and he just has not been as advertised, I guess.
They've been decimated on it with injuries. Eckler.
Yep.
Right? Eckler went down. Eckler was a big part of last year as well, and Jaden Daniels has been banged up. He hasn't been 100% since week 2.
And now he's probably out for the season.
Yeah.
That is a horrific elbow injury.
I did not even see it, but I heard it was bad.
It's basically like he puts his arm down to brace his impact, and it just bends the wrong way. So it looked
was
like
it his throwing arm?
No, it was his other one.
Okay.
So it looked like some kind of elbow injury, probably like a dislocated elbow, something like that. Pretty bad. I'm guessing he'll be out for the season.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, it's halfway point.
It's a very interesting situation to have him still in the game. 7 minutes left in the game. You're down 38-7 to keep him in there, and now your season's basically done. And you would have been 3-6 anyway, even if he's healthy. It's probably done because the NFC is really stacked. I saw this thing. It's like the difference between like the 11th place team in the NFC and the first place team in the NFC is like 1.5 games. I can't remember if it was the 11th place or the 9th place team. Like the NFC is super, super competitive right now. So you can never count them out because it's football. At this point, I don't even know who's going to win the Super Bowl. So you can't count them out, but it's just a tough blow. And for a team who had so much promise coming in, so much to look forward to, it's not looking good. And then for the Seahawks, they pretty much have probably the best resume as a team in the NFL. Who are their losses to? The Bucks and was it the Steelers?
Bucks at the very end. No,
the Niners. It's the Niners. All right. So and that's in week 1. Mm-hmm. So the Bucks are a good team, and they only lost to them by 3.
I do think though Seattle hasn't hit the most difficult part of their schedule.
No, but I'd say
But
so
they're
far
solid. I mean, their defense is really
their
good.
defense is really good.
And Sam Darnold is just dealing. He's picking up right where he left off in Minnesota.
And I was a hater coming into the season. I said, "There's no way this guy recreates what he did in Minnesota," just because I didn't think the situation was as good.
I think for me, Darnold still just has to prove it in the playoffs.
I agree.
You know, because that's the one thing he hasn't done, and he hasn't had a lot of opportunity to do it either. So it's a small sample size for him, but regular season wise, I mean, he's just humming there, you know. And I mean, the last two teams he's played for, counting the Seahawks, have had really good receivers.
I mean, yeah, JSN,
Hall of Fame level receivers in Jefferson and now JSN.
JSN
I mean,
has turned into a monster.
He knows where to go, you know, and he can get him the ball. He's got a strong arm. He's a good quarterback. So he's playing well right now. So yeah, Seattle's, yeah, they're up there. They're up there right now. One of the NFC favorites. I'll tell you what, Rams, Seahawks is going to be must
It's
see
gonna be
TV.
great. What
Must
week
see
is
TV.
that?
What I'm looking forward to that because I really want to know what.
So not next week, but the week after. So
Okay.
what is that? Week 11.
What are we? We're week
We're
9.
week 9.
Yep.
So yeah, week 11.
at the Rams.
That's gonna be
Afternoon
good.
game.
That's gonna be really good.
And then they play them on December 18th, Thursday
on
night.
Thursday night.
Ooh, those are going to be good.
No, that's just gonna be absolute cinema to watch. Because honestly, I had the Rams as my first place team, and I mean they got a big win against New Orleans today. I feel like they're still there.
Yep.
I mean Stafford's humming. He's probably the MVP at this point.
Yep.
And they got Puka back, who was injured, but Sean McVay said he could have returned in that game. They just wanted to keep him out as a precaution. So
Probably
yeah.
smart.
This division is really tight. The Niners got a big win today. I don't think the Niners are a true threat just because of all their injuries. Their first round pick goes out with a torn ACL. I mean, they cannot catch a break. They must have sold Shanahan must have made a deal with the devil to keep McCaffrey healthy or something, because I mean their entire team is dropping like flies. But as long as McCaffrey's humming like he is,
Yeah.
they'll be able to win some games. But big win for Seattle. They moved to 6-2, keeping pace with the Rams. They win 38-14 against the Commanders. Tough for the Commanders. Wanted to touch on the Bears and Bengals game. What a game. What were the Bengals down by? Like 15 points?
I think it was 2 scores because they went for 2 to make it a 6-point deficit. So I think they were just down by two touchdowns.
Let's see here. Yeah, they were
they're
down 41-27.
Yeah, so they're down 14 with what? I mean, not a lot of time left in the fourth quarter.
And I mean, it's
Yeah.
crazy. What a collapse by Chicago. Just in terms of
giving up an onside kick. I mean, that's what it came down
Yeah.
to. I mean, that's what, maybe the second one this year, or maybe the first this year. I
Yeah.
don't even know.
that's like your worst nightmare.
It's
as a fan.
it's 1 or 2, and it didn't go 10 yards, but the Bears touched it and couldn't secure it when they initially touched it, and it allowed the Bengals to get in there and recover it. And not only that, the Bengals just marched right down, and fortunately for the Bears, scored, faster than they
scored
should
very,
have.
very fast.
And as soon as I'll be honest, not being a big Bears fan, but, friend of mine, we'll just call him Bear fan Blake, friend of the program, but probably not a subscriber.
Wow.
I know. He texted me saying, I don't know if you know this, but the Bears are going to win the Super Bowl. So I was like, well, if they do, I guess he's going to buy me a ticket and we'll go. So maybe I'm cheering for him.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, as soon as I saw, just under a minute left, or no, wait, how much time did they have? The Bears had...
It was just under a minute.
Just under a minute. As soon as I saw it was just under a minute, my thought was, man, all they need's a field goal. The Bears are definitely, or the Bengals are going to let the Bears do this. I didn't know they'd let them do a touchdown, though, or score a touchdown. But, The Bengals defense has not changed,
They
nor
suck.
will
They're
it.
the worst.
Whether it's Joe Burrow or Joe Flacco or any other average Joe behind him, the routine is going to be we'll battle, we'll take a late lead, and then we'll sit on the bench and we'll watch this defense piss it all away.
It's
And that's
horrible.
exactly what they did.
I mean,
Horrible missed tackles.
Jamar Chase is fed up. Chase Brown is fed up. I'm sure Joe Flacco is fed up. This is probably the worst defense he ever played with in his career.
It's
It's
bad.
ridiculous. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
But then the Bears defense allowed
They
42
suck,
points.
too.
So, I mean, you're seeing that in the NFL these days. You're seeing a lot of shootouts. There definitely seems to be a lot of points being scored in a lot of games. You're seeing a lot of teams go toe to toe, and then you're seeing baffling low scoring games. But boy, you're a team that scores 42 points. You expect to win that game, and the Bengals scored 42, and the problem is they let the Bears score 47.
And
So
the problem with the Bengals too is like you were trying to push this thing, get you into a spot where in December Joe Burrow can come back and maybe make a playoff run.
Yeah,
If
it's not
you
looking
just
good.
take care of business against the Jets, your defense
Yep.
collapses. If you take care of business in this game,
Yep.
your defense collapses. If you win those two games, you're 5-4.
Yep.
You're 5-4. You're looking good. You're tied
Now
for the
Burrow's
Steelers and
like,
wins.
yeah, I'm not coming back.
No, it's not.
Um,
The playoffs are a pipe dream now. It's not going to happen. It's just ridiculous. Like they are so bad defensively, and they have decided it does not matter. We're going to pay Higgins. We're going to pay Chase.
And here's the thing, too. Those Bears fans out there, they love their wins. They start, beating their chests, talking about Super Bowls. We're going to find out what the Bears are in the next 5 to 6 weeks because now the tougher part of their schedule opens up. NFC North, Philadelphia Eagles.
Well, the Packers are two
You've
free
got
wins.
a couple of them. Yeah, Packers are probably 2 free wins for you, but but we're gonna see if the Bears are a playoff team in the next eight games. We'll find out.
I don't think with this defense they are.
I don't think they are. I mean, they're an improved offense, but I still don't know if I still don't know what to think of Caleb because he has good games. Then he has.
I will say he was really
bad
good on
games.
that last drive.
Well, he was really good against a piss poor Bengals defense.
I get it. I just thought
if he struggled, then you'd maybe be concerned.
he made plays with his legs on the last drive to get a first down, and then that throw to Loveland, even though he breaks a tackle, he scores. That's
a good
not.
throw.
He zipped it
was a
in
good
there.
throw.
And they might have found something with this Manungai guy.
Yeah.
With Swift out, I'm a notorious Swift hater. I don't think Swift is very good at football. I don't think he's a very good running back. But Manungai had a great game. But again, the Bengals are never a good gauge of where you are offensively. Almost every the Jets look good on offense. So I mean, I'm not going to take anything too much from this game. But I mean, the Bears are 5-3. That's pretty good, and
They're basically tied for second.
yeah,
in
and
the division.
and I know a lot of fans were kind of worried they would see a similar collapse to last year when they were also like 4-3 or 4-2, and then they went on that big collapse and ended up finishing the season poorly. But like I've said before, I really like Ben Johnson, and Caleb Williams has all the talent in the world. They just got to put it together. And he had a good game, and poor Bengals fans, man, you guys will never escape it. But let's move on to probably the game of the day. Bills, Chiefs. It's always a classic when these two meet up. Doesn't really matter when. Even in the playoffs, you can say Mahomes, his own Josh Allen. Every game is close. It's not like Mahomes is beating him handily. And honestly, Josh Allen has had his number in the regular season. The Bills get the win here, 28-21. Something about this matchup is just so good. Like it's just such a classic. Like this is like Manning and Brady. It's just so awesome to watch. And Mahomes did not play good. I think it's the worst completion percentage in a game in his career. And it's the same concerns that I've had with the Chiefs kind of all season and in the past few games. It's kind of been masked a little bit because they've been moving the ball against some bad teams.
Yeah.
And, I mean, they still can't really run the ball. They only had 80 yards rushing in this game. So that's a concern. I mean, you saw Clyde Edwards-Helaire out there. I didn't even know he was still in the league.
Yeah, they definitely missed Pacheco.
But even with Pacheco, I don't think they're very good.
But I think they missed him, though.
I agree.
I think Pacheco brings like a certain toughness that, I mean, Kareem Hunt does too. He's a bruiser.
I'm just saying they don't have a guy who can just carry the offense.
They're missing that real go-to.
And I think that's the difference in this game. Like James Cook was like really good in this game, just getting the tough yardage, making plays. So
I think they were talking about the Bills, James Cook that 114 yards rushing. You had Dalton Kincaid, it was over 100 receiving, and I don't think the Chiefs defense had really allowed a 100-yard rusher or receiver all year.
Mm-hmm.
The big takeaway for me on this was how the Bills defense played. You watched them a couple weeks ago against Atlanta and Bijan Robinson. Obviously, Kansas City doesn't have a Bijan Robinson, but they just ran all over.
Even
the
Drake
Bills.
London that game had a good game.
And just they were dealing, and that was Michael Penix, making plays, and so Kansas City, I mean, they show up all the time, right? This one they just couldn't quite put it together, and it was a little weird to see, but I don't know. Watching that game, they converted 4th and 17 to Rashee Rice going wide open across the middle for, I don't know, I think that might have been as long of 29 yards that he caught. And on that play on 4th and 17, they get 29 yards, then they go score a touchdown, make it 28-21. And you're thinking, okay, here's the Chiefs showing up. The Bills had their shot to put them away, and they couldn't. And so, but give credit to the Bills. Their defense stepped up. They harassed Mahomes.
Joey Bosa looked like prime Joey Bosa.
Him. Yeah, they pressures. 3 sacks, 24 yards lost on those sacks. I mean, they had Mahomes really moving around and trying to make some plays where there weren't any. And so, I mean, with Rashee Rice coming back, and especially the last 2 weeks, I mean, I guess you take it for granted. I mean, they were playing the Raiders in one of those where they never punted, and I think the Raiders had like 4 first downs the whole game. And I can't remember who they played last week, but
Commanders.
Yeah, Commanders, who are banged up.
They have a horrible defense.
Yeah, so I mean, Kansas City has their last few wins have been against some struggling teams.
Mm-hmm.
But this was kind of the litmus test, which really means nothing because these two meet in the playoffs, and I'm still betting on the Kansas City Chiefs to win that game.
I agree.
The Bills got him here, and as poorly as Mahomes played, it was still a 7-point game. So, I mean, and Mahomes didn't throw a touchdown and threw 1 pick. And it was, right at the end, basically. And so, yeah, kind of a weird weak game for them, but they were still kind of in it the whole game, which was a little concerning.
It felt eerily similar to last year's regular season matchup. It's
going to give you all the hope that Buffalo can do it until they meet in the playoffs.
This is just the Chiefs now.
But important for Buffalo because if they can keep this going, they'll get home field.
Mm-hmm.
And they won't have to go to Kansas City. Not that I have any faith they can beat them in Buffalo. But
the problem with the Bills now is you lost to the Patriots. And the Patriots are kind of beating up on bad teams. And they have I think they have the second easiest remaining strength of schedule. And they're I don't know how good the Patriots actually are, but they're a good enough team to get some wins. So I don't know what their final record will be, but I think for Buffalo, they have to beat the Patriots in New England when they face them, so then they can secure the division.
Yep.
Because I mean the Bills are they're 6-2. For a while there, it felt like the season fell apart.
Yeah.
And you look back and it's like, well, I mean they're still 6-2.
And we can maybe add that logic to another team we talk about a little bit later.
Maybe. I don't know. But for the Chiefs, I mean. They're 5-4 now.
Yep.
They're on the outside looking in when it comes to the playoffs. They have a tough loss to Jacksonville that could play in at some point this season.
Yep.
Jacksonville got a big win over the Raiders in overtime.
Yeah.
And I mean, if the Jags are the 7 seed, the Bills or the Chiefs are the 8 seed right now. You know, you don't have the tiebreaker there. You've already lost a game to the Chargers. And the Broncos now lead the division. They're at 7-2. You're at 5-4. Like, that's not a good place to be at all. So
Yep.
I don't know. This is kind of a different area of where we've seen the Chiefs in the past. You know, these past few weeks, they've looked really good on offense. They've looked really good. But now they're 5-4. The path to the division is kind of clouded. It's not over, but it's kind of clouded.
Denver hasn't been spectacular, but they've been winning.
They're 7-2.
I mean,
I'm really excited for
defense,
those matchups.
Yeah, that's another one. Circle Kansas City, Denver.
Because
whenever that one's happening, that's another must.
Denver for the past couple of years has played Kansas City tough and just haven't really
Those will be
gone
good games.
over the hump.
Those will be good games.
So I'm excited to see that. But yeah, for Kansas City, you really thought this offense was back to like MVP Mahomes offense.
It sure felt that way, and then this
didn't
was a
show
dud.
it.
Yeah,
I just there's something.
Hey, we can apply dud to something later too, probably.
Every time the Packers play. But yeah, huge for the Bills if they can get Kincaid going like they did in this game. And I'm telling you, James Cook is the key to this offense.
Just got to stay healthy.
Josh Allen is so good.
Yep.
But when James Cook is really running the ball, look at their box scores. When they win, James Cook runs the ball well, and he makes plays. And he had that big third down conversion late in the game.
Yep.
And honestly, you really thought the Chiefs were going to do it when they missed the kick at the end.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, of course.
23 seconds, no problem.
But
where's Tyreek Hill?
Yeah, exactly. And it was just like, they're going to do it, aren't they? But yeah, I thought Cole Bishop had a crazy good game. He was making plays all over.
Shout out Utah.
Yeah. And Bosa was crazy. I mean, if the Bills defense can just play good football, I mean, they're a scary team.
Played well today.
And as long as you have Josh Allen, anything is possible.
You're in every game.
So yeah, Bills get a big win over Kansas City. Okay, let's finally talk about the Packers, I suppose. Where do I even begin?
I'll tell you.
Okay, go ahead.
I'll tell you. Well, you know, we're recording this after the Sunday night game, so I've had it's 10:30ish. I've had several hours to think about this stinker of a game.
Atrocious.
Just disappointment, really. I mean, but not surprising, really, because what have they scored?
That's why it's disappointing.
Have they scored, 18 points in the first half of the last, 2 or 3 games? I don't know what
this
it
whole
is.
season.
They start off really slow. They have a tendency. Packers always play down to the competition, but, you know, give Carolina credit in a little bit. They're a 4-4 team. So, you know, but I think everybody hears Carolina and they think of the 2-14 teams that we see year after year, or, you know, that have struggled to do anything. Rico Dowdle has just been a monster lately, and he did not stop in Green Bay. He kept going. You know, you hold a quarterback to 102 yards passing and a 1 interception, and you feel like you're probably going to do enough to win that game, except for the fact that, or I guess I should say, but not if your team can't score in the red zone. And I think the Packers had 7 total possessions in this game. Carolina executed exactly what they wanted to do. Keep the ball out of Green Bay's hands. Keep it out of Jordan Love. Don't let the offense get going. And the offense really never did. First possession that they have, they fumble. Fumble in the red zone. Points come off the board there. You know, they missed a field goal. They settled for 2 field goals instead of touchdowns. They turned the ball over on downs in the red zone on a questionable 4th and 8 when you have a chip shot field goal. And I don't know how much time was left in the game. 10 minutes? I don't know. Not sure why they're going for it in that spot. Jordan Love throws a freaking bonehead Brett Favre interception on first down into triple coverage. and you're just kind of questioning what's going on here, and it's a huge disappointment coming off of that second half in Pittsburgh, but it's exactly reminiscent of what the first half in Pittsburgh was. Just this questionable calls and execution, just sleepwalking. It feels like they don't even, I don't know, they just don't seem like they're inspired. I mean, Carolina looked like they came ready to play. Packers never looked like they started playing in the game. They score a late touchdown to tie it, but at that point, you've put too much stress on your defense. Defense allowed 16 points. I don't really hang this on the defense that much.
Me
This is
neither.
an offensive problem. I think the defense, okay, they're going to give away up yards. It's the Green Bay Packers. I mean, they have Micah Parsons. They're going to rush better. They're going to have better pass rush. But we're still the Packers in the backfield. We're going to give you tons of yards between the 20s, and then we're going to hold you to a field goal. That's typically what Packer defense has been for, the whole time I've been alive. That's been Packer defense. We're not going to shut you down and get you on all these 3 and outs, but so I don't hang this on the defense. This is 100% on the offense. And honestly, it's a little bit more so hung on LaFleur. I think LaFleur has a play calling problem. I think LaFleur is, I don't know if it's he doesn't believe in Jordan Love. I think he needs to just unleash Jordan Love and just do it the opposite way. You're a pass first offense now, because your line blocks well for pass. They pass block. They don't run block. And we're trying to run all the time. And so we have to do it in reverse. Don't try to run to set up the pass. We're going to pass to set up the run. That's how they have to do it. And I just don't know what's going into the game plan, what it is, because I believe LaFleur when he says that he believes in Jordan Love. I just don't know if he gets nervous in games, or he thinks like, I got to keep Josh Jacobs engaged. I got to give him his touches. He's not, the players that we've had before. He's not an Aaron Jones, but because he definitely, see, that's the baffling thing to me. When Aaron Jones was the running back in Green Bay, they never gave the ball to Aaron Jones, and they passed too much. So now we're completely flipped. So what the hell are we now? I don't know. That's my take. I just, embarrassing, disappointing, just lackluster. Top it all off, cursed by the stupid new jerseys. I think that's always a problem. I think teams around the league don't play well when they wear their alternate jerseys like that. They're throwbacks. Look at the Steelers last week. I mean, we'll get to that later. But anyway, that's my rant. But it's a lot calmer now. It had a lot more F-bombs associated with it 10 hours ago.
Yeah.
Anyway, you're up.
All right. Let's just start on defense. Let's get that out of the way. Did they play a bad game defensively? No. Did they play a good game defensively? No. Did they? Honestly, no. They played a bad game defensively. Let me explain. 16 points, that's not that bad. But you let the Panthers do exactly what they knew they needed to do. They knew coming into this game, they weren't be able to pass it against the Packers. And they were fine with that. And they said, we'll just take what they give us. It's not going to be a lot. But how many third down plays? What were the Panthers on third down? They had to have been good. Okay, 4 for 10. That's not that good. But it felt like in key third down spots, they were getting them. And they went for on fourth down and got it too.
Yep.
So that was part of it. So even when they were passing, or Bryce Young used his legs on fourth down and third down, they got those plays. The Packers weren't able to stop them very often. And, I mean, the Packers have been such a good rush defense this year. And in this game, they just sucked. They were horrible. And they decided not to call up another defensive lineman. So when Colby Wooden goes down, in the red zone, they like to run 4 defensive tackles on the line to stop the run. And when Colby Wooden goes down, they can't run that package anymore. So they're completely out of whack there. So it's very puzzling why you call up a corner and Kamal Haddon, who doesn't even play, and you don't call up a defensive tackle. So once Colby Wooden goes down, the entire defensive line in the red zone is all shuffled, and Dowdle scores. I think did he score both of his touchdowns in the red zone? Easy
Yep. Yep.
touchdowns.
They were like 5 yards out
So
both times.
I mean, you just got worked there, and it's just so. Did the defense play bad? No, but I think the Panthers. The Panthers did not play a good game offensively, but to them, I bet they're very satisfied with how they played offensively because they knew this is what it had to take. And then
Yeah.
the pressure. I mean, it is a travesty. The Packers weren't able to get more pressure in this game. I mean, they got some pressure, but they only sacked Bryce Young once, and it was Xavier McKinney sacking him. I mean, it is ridiculous that they, with Micah Parsons, Rashawn Gary, and Devontae Wyatt, and all these guys, they weren't able to even touch him. Micah Parsons didn't have a pressure. He hasn't done that in his career. In his career, he hasn't had a game without a pressure. And this is against the Carolina Panthers, who historically he has terrorized. And they have a completely shuffled offensive line. They have guys getting injured in the middle of the game. It is ridiculous you weren't able to sack him and at least get pressure on him with Micah Parsons. I get it. They throw double teams at you. If that's the case, Devontae Wyatt and Rashawn Gary should be eating all day against these linemen who are not very good.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous. So the defense is not at fault in this game, but they're certainly not the worst part. And that's because the offense was absolutely atrocious. And I will defend Matt LaFleur on this and then criticize him for another thing. I don't think his play calling is horrible. If you look at that 3rd and 3 play where he elects to throw the screen pass in the red zone, who was it? Malik Heath? If Malik Heath makes his block there,
Yeah.
the Packers have the numbers. Both the receivers in front of him are blocking. If he makes his block, they scored a touchdown on that last week. On pretty much the same play where they swing it out and they score a touchdown.
Do you remember on that play who was blocking? The one that they scored?
I can't remember.
Because so it definitely wasn't Wicks, right? Because he was out last week. So, but Kraft was in still, and I just wonder if Malik. I mean, I think that's a little bit that shows how the. I mean, bottom line is he didn't do his job, right?
But what I'm trying to say is
it was a good play call, bad execution.
And LaFleur even explained it. He said we thought we had numbers. We saw a look where we thought we had numbers.
Yeah.
And I think it's a situation where if Malik Heath makes the block and we score or we move the ball closer into a more, even if he only gets 2 yards, it's 4th and 1.
And it's an easier conversion.
I think nobody says anything.
He doesn't lose 5 yards.
So I think we're at a moment where LaFleur is in a bind because we can't run block.
Yeah.
And he knows this offense needs some sort of a running game, or we just get very much one-dimensional. And it's not like the running game didn't work.
You're right. And we don't. No, I think you still have to run. I think the not to interrupt your rant.
No, you're good.
You're
good.
Rant. But I don't know that anything necessarily needs to change with how he's calling the game per se. I think it's more so getting them ready to play and execute and figuring out why they're not able to execute. Like why aren't we ready to play like that? And Savion Williams, like ball security, when these the defenders swarm to you, they're trying to keep you up, keep you from going down to knock the ball away. And so it's like knowing when to keep fighting for some yards and situationally where you are on the field. Like that's a situation there where you don't necessarily need to fight for an extra yard or two, in that situation. Mm-hmm. And it's like just ball security, go down, and just there's just that execution thing. So I feel like it's an execution thing with this team. It's the lack of execution. The play calls are there. They're not doing the job they're supposed to do. And so what is that? Is that lack of preparation? Is that just I don't know. The moment's too big. They're young players. I know the injuries aren't excuses. Everybody's going through it, but you've got a lot of guys out on this team
Yep.
right now. And it's not getting any better with Tucker Kraft going out, and he's probably done for the year.
Yep.
That's a huge blow to the Packers. And, it's next man up, and you've got some talent in Musgrave and what's his name? Kirk Fitzpatrick, or what's his name?
Fitzpatrick.
Is
something.
it Fitzpatrick? Whatever. Third tight end. You got now he's two tight end, right? But you got Musgrave. You've got some young talent that it's not going to replace Tucker Kraft, but they're going to have to step up now. And so this team has been just, I don't know. It's like, I'd love to see the Packers 100%. So then I'd really know what I can gripe on, right? Because right now it's just, there's a talent gap, and they do need the running game because these receivers have not come into their own yet and been able to create on their own. They're not JSN. They're not Justin Jefferson. They're not they're not close to those players right now. And so if you don't have the running game to kind of keep you balanced, I think Jordan Love's a good quarterback. I think he's the guy in Green Bay now, and I don't think it's a problem that you need to search for a quarterback. So, he can execute and he can do it, and he's dealing to a lot of different receivers, but they just don't have a go-to. And Kraft was starting to separate himself from that group to be that kind of go-to, and now he's not there. So, anyway, I to your point, I do agree with you. I think that LaFleur's play calling is good. I'm now maybe the question is he getting the players ready to play?
I agree.
Is he getting them ready to play?
We're out of that moment where execution and play calling are meeting in the middle, and you can't decipher which one is destroying this team. You can't. Like, nobody knows.
In the moment you see that play, and you're like, "What the hell are you doing? Why are you doing this screen pass on third down?" I think you texted that to me. A screen pass on third down.
I still
then you
hate
went
the
back
call.
and you watched it though. Or you listen to the explanation, and then you showed me that on a couple other plays in the prior weeks where, you throw it out in the flat, and I think it was maybe Dallas's game. We questioned that same thing. He throws it out in the flat, clock's ticking. Why are you throwing that ball? But Dobbs misses the block, and if he makes the block, they had numbers, and it's a mix of that. If that corner makes a play, you can't account for that, right? So, that they do film study too on the other side. So maybe they baited us into that look. I don't know. But that's the thing to me is you're right. It's play calling and execution. And today's game, the offense was atrocious. But I felt like it was more the Packers beating themselves
100%.
than Carolina beating the Packers.
100%.
It was nothing to do with Carolina's defense because they had 7 possessions, right? All of those drives went for at least how many plays? 11.
I'll read them
all
out
9
right
plays?
here.
Yeah.
9 plays fumble, 9 plays field goal, 10 plays field goal, 9 plays missed field goal, 4 plays interception, 13 plays turnover on downs, 12 plays touchdown.
So,
they're moving the ball.
They're moving the ball, and Packers have been one of the most explosive offenses in the league, with a bunch of no names too, right? Nobody that separates himself, nobody that you could comfortably put in a starting lineup on your fantasy team for sure, because you just don't know who's going to be the one to show up. Kraft was looking like that guy, but too bad now, which sucks. But you've got everybody's playing them with that soft shell. They're putting those 2 high safeties. They're taking away those deep plays. So it's forcing the Packers to run the ball and throw short. That's what's there, right? Dinking and dunking down the field. And
we suck at that.
But they're doing it. They did it in this game. They dinked and dunked. They went 12 plays. They went 10 plays. They went 11 plays. Whatever it was, they went down. And then it just turns into a problem of execution, right?
But the Panthers beat us at our own defense. Like, that is the Packers' defense.
Yeah.
Is to play a soft zone and make you dink and dunk it and let the pass rush get after you. And they played a better defense than the Packers did.
Except, but the Panther pass rush never really got to Love.
But I think they got better pass rush on us than we did on Bryce Young. Even
True.
though it wasn't like the best pass rush.
Yeah.
And
it's just questionable. it just the whole damn team was flat.
It's unreal, and I agree with you. I think it's not. I think LaFleur's. I know a lot of people are like, yeah, give the play calling to Stenovich, the offensive coordinator, and I'm like, I really don't
What are
think
we?
that's the answer here.
No.
And I think it's really just I don't think the Packers have a good culture. I genuinely don't. I mean, how many years in a row have we walked in to a playoff game or a big game and we just get dominated on the line of
Now,
scrimmage?
I will say, I think they have a good locker room.
Yeah.
They just, so when we say culture,
I just mean they
it's,
don't have like it's not a tough culture.
yeah, it used to be more of a hard nosed.
I don't think it is
Yeah.
with Matt LaFleur. I don't know what it is, but I just feel like
It's more finesse.
yes, and we don't dictate terms. Matt
Yeah.
LaFleur loves to watch the film, find what teams are weak against, and try to attack those instead. But honestly, like people have been saying, well, why don't we just do what we're good at? What are we good at? What are we good at? I couldn't tell you what we were good at. We just lost to the season to an ACL injury. That's what we were good at. We were good at giving Tucker Craft the ball and letting him work. And now I think our red zone offense is going to tank like it did in this game because he is such a big threat in the red zone. I mean, how many plays did we have this season? We just given it the ball to him and
Yeah.
he trucks two guys and goes into the end zone.
Yeah.
So our red zone offense is going to tank. He's also a guy who you can just hit on short passes and he can make things happen.
Well, it's just the bottom line is it's gonna have to be on it's the next man up, I guess, and it's gonna have to be on the receiving core.
It's next
gonna
man
have to-
up, but there is no replacing him.
No, there's no replacing him, but they're just gonna have to figure out new ways, and guys are gonna have to step up. Though I mean, Watson's gonna have to be your guy. Watson before has been kind of your red zone, has been a red zone target before.
He has to be.
He's just gonna have to step into that role, and Musgrave is gonna have to step up as well, and they're just gonna have to do it by committee at this point. I mean, there's nothing you can do about it. I mean, it sucks. You hate to see any player get hurt like that.
Can you believe the Green Bay Packers are favored by 2.5 points next week against Philly?
Oh, geez. Well, I'll tell you this: we play up to the competition too. Like,
I think we're gonna get boat raced.
I don't think so.
I think we are gonna get absolutely dominated.
I think this is the hope. I mean, this is the hope. You'd think you already had this wake up call, but I think it's easy to go blow one in Cleveland and be like, "Oh, first road game," if that was at home, no problem. And then you get kind of punched in the face at home and play poorly like this.
That
like,
was
this has
the game,
to be,
though.
Yeah, but this has to be. I mean, I guess we'll find out. I don't know.
That was like the one throwaway game. Like, oh, you learn from it.
Yeah.
They haven't learned from a damn thing this season. They keep making the same mistakes over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And it's making me so mad. I cannot stand this team, and that's why I think it's kind of like a culture thing. They don't learn from their mistakes. They come out in these games flat. There is no energy. The first 2 weeks, there was so much energy and buzz, and they played like it. And now they just come in the game, and it's like, well, I got my paycheck. I guess I don't need to try. And it's like,
yeah.
What is going on? Like, do any of you even want to play football? And I love Jordan Love, but even him, like, sometimes I feel like, show some fire. Like, he seems like he's just so, like, disinterested in the game. And it's like, can't there just be somebody to hype these guys up? And I think our number one hype guy, ACL injury, gone for the season.
Yeah.
It's a horrible situation. I don't know. I honestly think we lose like 34-17 to Philly next week. I think the mojo is bad.
I don't know.
I do not like where things are going right now.
Well, I mean, they've got to pick themselves up and compete, and primetime game. I don't know. World players seem to play a little bit more inspired when it's that way, but I don't know.
We need somebody to step up and just be that answer. Like, the Packers with Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams was you get Adams the ball.
It's really funny because if people watching this video and us talk about Green Bay, if they didn't know what the record was, they would probably think they were 2-5-1, the way that we're talking about them, instead of 5-2-1.
Well, listen, but
I'm just saying, like that's probably the case. I mean,
but here, let me explain for a second why I'm frustrated, why you're frustrated, is because I think in not one of these games since the first two have we shown up to play. And to me, it's because this roster is pretty well constructed and we're talented enough that we're getting away with it. And that's why I'm just pessimistic, because eventually, and against Philly, it's not going to work. You're not going to be able to come flat and, have 0 points in the first quarter, because Philly's probably going to have 14.
Yeah.
And you're going to be down 14-0 because this defense can't stop anything.
Yeah. I mean, I guess we just have to put faith in that it's a week-to-week league, and maybe we can bounce back like Pittsburgh did. Look so horrible and then kill one of the best teams. I don't know.
I guess.
Like, maybe? I don't know. I don't know. I think that at 5-2-1, it's not ideal to have. I mean, we tied a game. It's essentially 5-3.
To me, it's not about the record.
Yeah.
It's about how we're playing.
Yeah. Well, and I just remember, I don't know, there's been many years the first half of the season looked shaky. We weren't there, and then a switch flipped, and they got it together, and they started rolling. And so we just have to hope that that's what they can do.
And I would say that, but now that we lose Kraft, this is a problem. This is a real problem. If we were completely healthy, I'd be like, all right, well, the pieces are here.
Yeah.
I don't think people realize how big losing Tucker Kraft is. And I'm genuinely worried.
But you also have Jaden Reed coming back. You got some other guys coming back to help with that a little bit.
I agree.
And, Kraft only emerged in the last couple weeks a little bit, the most, I would say. But he has no doubt been a red zone threat. So they're going to have to address
more than
that.
Anything is his run blocking, too.
Yeah.
I mean, Musgrave is a horrible run blocker.
None of them run block, so we won't see any change.
I think it'll be way worse now. Musgrave is absolutely horrific run blocking. That's probably why Fitzpatrick will play a lot.
That's why Fitzpatrick's always been in there run blocking.
But it's just ridiculous.
Well, I mean, they're not winning the Super Bowl.
No.
They'll may make the playoffs. So you got the Bears making the playoffs over the Packers?
No. I never said that.
I don't think.
I don't think the Bears will make the. I think the Packers will make the playoffs, but it's just the same old Packers. They're going to lose in the wild card. They're going to lose in the divisional. It's there is nothing special about this team. It is. We thought we were Micah Parsons away. We are far more away.
Should we trade Micah?
No. I mean, he's a good piece to have, no doubt. But I think going into the season, you thought it was the game changer. It's obviously not.
It's on Ed Policy and Brian Gutekunst to get better talent in Green Bay.
I agree.
To do it.
We thought we beefed up this O-line, and they can't do a damn thing.
Fire LaFleur at the end of the season?
I think his seat gets hot if we lose in the wild card again.
Or if we don't make the playoffs.
If we don't make the playoffs, fire him. Fire him. Because you would have been 5-1-1 to collapse that hard. And if you miss the playoffs, fire him.
I think this team has been resilient. I think they have some leadership in that room. And I mean, I don't think Tucker Kraft's going anywhere from a locker room perspective.
No, yeah.
So I think the leaders are still there in this organization. I think the locker room culture is still good, and I think these guys will band together. And they've gone through adversity all year long where they've had these snoozers in the first half, and they've come on in the second half and won some games.
That's just what
but it used to be, the last 3 years of the Rodgers era was the exact opposite. We'd start off really strong. We'd have great first halves, and then the second half we'd just fall asleep and then coast to a win that got really tight, where you're like, how the hell are we here with how we started? Now we're in that exact opposite script where we can't get going. So the season changes. There's a first half and a second half. The important stuff is how you start playing in November. Not a great start for November.
No.
but we got to start now, and
I
and
agree.
there's got to be a sense of urgency now that now they're looking at the schedule and it's like, okay, we've coasted through the first half of the season. It is pedal to the metal now, and we've got to take all of these
If
hard.
they come out flat against Philly, I'm done. I'm done. This team sucks. If they come out flat against Philly, it's over. The season is over because that will truly mean that LaFleur does not care at all. This team does not care at all. It doesn't
Yeah.
They have to come out fast against Philly, or they just don't want to win football games because at that point it will just be absolutely ridiculous. You lose at home. The biggest favorite to lose since 2023 when the Titans beat the Dolphins. And even in that game was kind of a fluky thing. Like the Panthers pretty much controlled this game the entire day. If you come out flat against Philly, I'm done with Matt LaFleur. I'm done with Jordan Love. I'm done with you, all of you, if that happens. And I think I'm completely valid in that take because that would be.
I think you're already done.
Would you not be done at that point?
No, I'm saying I think you're already done with
Yeah,
this team.
but don't you agree?
Name something they do well. Anything?
Nothing.
They don't do anything.
They don't do anything well. We thought they rushed the passer well. Well, they are extremely inconsistent at that. They can't seem to run the ball well.
Yeah.
We throw the ball well when Matt LaFleur allows us to.
Okay, so your prediction next week is 34-17?
34-17 Eagles.
Okay.
In Green Bay.
Okay.
We'll see. Maybe they prove me wrong, but at this point, they need to prove me wrong because I do not believe it.
Yeah, I mean, if they lose next week,
it's just,
if it's a tight game,
if they play them tight and they play just if they play like they did against the Niners in the divisional round in 2023, and they battle and like maybe they go down early, but then they come back and it's a tie ball game and it gets a good team. I get it, and they lose. They make a couple of mistakes. But if they just show some fight, there's just no fight in this team.
See, the Philly...
It's uninspired.
You should be able to score on the Philly defense.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Philly... We should be able to score.
Well, you should have been able to score on the Carolina Panthers
I know.
defense, too.
This was just... sometimes teams just don't show up, and this was exactly that. The Packers just never showed up.
I just want us to play some fire.
I would be really shocked if we put together another snoozer like this next week. I just think that when it happens to you at home, I think that's a little bit different. And I think you saw that a little bit with Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But yeah, let's move on. Pretty much the only good thing that happened as a Packers fan was the Lions losing, which kind of saved us because we still hold control of the NFC North somehow. I don't know how. And I mean, I'm not going to call this a crazier upset than the Panthers beating the Packers, but it's certainly crazy. The Vikings 27, Lions 24. To me, I don't see this as a crazy upset, as crazy as it sounds, because we knew if McCarthy could just be competent. He didn't play great in this game, but he was a competent quarterback. He made plays. He had 3 total touchdowns. And we knew if they had just had competent quarterback play, this roster was good enough to win games. And that's exactly what happened. And like I said, McCarthy didn't play amazing, but they ran the ball really well, and they stopped Detroit's run extremely well. I mean, again, I'm so just mind blown by these coordinators giving like amazing players no touches. Yeah. It's so bizarre to me. Like I can't wrap my head around it. Like, why is Gibbs getting 9 carries? Why is David Montgomery out carrying Jahmyr Gibbs? Like, I can't seem to wrap my mind around that idea. So, yeah, Detroit, rough one. Now you're 5-3. Well, they had 2 losses all of last year, and now you're 5-3. So,
yeah, the story of the game was, to me, was Minnesota's defense.
Yeah, they played him.
They forced turnovers.
That's what I'm saying. When they have good quarterback play like that, defense is really good.
It was. Yeah, I give this one to Minnesota on the defensive side. Yeah, I mean, they sacked Goff for 5 times. Really had him a little flustered. Took away the big play ability. Jameer Gibbs couldn't get going, or well, not that he couldn't get going.
They didn't give
They
him a
just never
chance.
even gave him a shot. I mean, 9 carries, 25
It's
yards. I mean,
ridiculous.
he had 3 catches for 3 yards. It's just sometimes. I mean, Detroit played a little bit like they did in Lambeau, just kind of disjointed, and that's what you see from the Lions sometimes. Even going back a couple years ago, they would just have these inexplicable, just fall asleep at the wheel kind of games. I mean, a lot. I mean, honestly, Detroit played a lot like kind of like Green Bay did today, except they scored more points. I mean, they just kind of looked like they were sleepwalking a little bit against Minnesota. Minnesota came out
Hmm.
and just punched them early, and yeah, Detroit kind of countered for a little bit, but and then Vikings just kind of seized control. They blocked a field goal.
That was big, yeah.
Kind of fell asleep late and let Detroit score, which required Minnesota to make a key throw, have McCarthy make a key throw to basically ice the game. But for a minute there, I thought maybe Detroit was going to either tie or take or win it. Get the ball back there late, but Minnesota was able to hold on, and yeah, it was kind of weird. I did not expect this game, and the Vikings haven't been playing well, and I mean McCarthy. You look at his stats. I mean, 14 to 25, 143, 2 touchdowns and a pick. I mean, they ran the ball pretty well.
Very well, yeah.
Committee a little bit, 142 total team yards with between Aaron Jones, Jordan Mason, Addison. Looks like he had a couple rushes. McCarthy had a few. So they definitely played okay on offense but played really well on defense. So yeah, kind of a shocker.
It's an
Really.
like I don't think with just how they were playing,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like even though McCarthy like played decently, I mean like you said, great game by the defense. The reason they won, but like who could have seen that coming? Like the Chargers just dominated this defense,
Yeah.
and you expect that from Detroit. They would be able
Yep.
to.
That's just why it's so beat a dead horse week to week league. The same teams just don't seem to show up every week across the board. Detroit was handling teams pretty well. I mean, they didn't have many style points against Tampa. They turned it over a lot. But even with all the turnovers against Tampa Bay, it didn't even really seem to matter that much. Detroit still controlled the game.
Yeah.
And you see some of these games that are just weird, like how Minnesota goes on the road to LA, gets owned, and then goes on the road to Detroit and basically owns Detroit. And it's just this season is so weird. It's so hard to pick week by week because I'm certain teams are going to show up and they don't.
It's impossible.
I don't know what's happening.
It's very
It's
it's absolutely bizarre.
I mean, it gives you a little bit of as a Packer fan, it makes you think, okay, well, many teams are kind of going through a little bit of this identity crisis where what the hell are we? What is Detroit? I mean, 20 carries between Monty and Jameer
Well-
Gibbs. It's just like, and 11 of those are Monty. You're just like for 40 yards. How in the hell? How does that happen? It just. I mean, what did Amon Ross get? 9 for 97.
Mhm.
It's just like, I mean, it's they were spreading the ball around, but it just. I did not have Detroit losing this game.
Me
I mean,
neither.
Glad they did. It helps, but
It's a huge for the Packers.
it's weird. Super weird.
I,
I mean, who had Philly going into New York Giants 3 weeks ago, whatever it was, and losing?
fair.
I mean, this NFL season is weird. It's just super weird.
I think that's why you just have to you can't look at record right now. You just
Yeah.
have to look at how teams are playing
Yeah.
and how they bounce back.
And especially if you're facing a team, don't look at their record.
Yeah,
because
no.
A 2-7 team's likely to punch you in the face just as hard as a 7-2 team.
I really to me the Rams are the best team in football right now, but there's not a juggernaut right now.
No,
there's
pretty
not
wide
a
open.
there's not a Lions last year, a Chiefs in the
No.
past couple of years. That's okay, that's the team. That's the team to
Pretty
beat.
wide open.
And there's just nobody there. But yeah, the Lions, man, huge loss, big win for the Vikings. Now, I mean, the Vikings saved their season basically. I still don't think they're going to make the playoffs. I'm not sure McCarthy is going to be able to. I mean, we still just saw him be really, really bad. So, as a Lions fan, that's pretty disappointing that you let him kind
Yep.
of play well, but we'll see where it goes from here. Finally, for our last game to talk about a shocking upset by the Pittsburgh Steelers, who've been playing pretty bad football over the past 2 weeks, losing to the Bengals and losing to the Packers. Offense just looks stagnant and at home. And historically, Mike Tomlin has been very good as a home underdog. He wins once again, 27-20 over the 7-1 Indianapolis Colts, who was the best team in football record-wise, and honestly looked like the best team in football. Just taking care of business against bad teams. They battled the Rams. They beat the Chargers really handily. I really fell for the Kool-Aid. I drank the Kool-Aid. I'm like, okay, this team's legit. And I don't know if you've seen that clip of Daniel Jones, but it was like in the third quarter, and he has that like scared face, and every Giants fan is like, I've seen that face before. You don't want to see that face from Daniel Jones, and everybody's like, well, the run is over. It was good while it lasted. It was not or 8 good weeks of football, and now it might be over.
This is, I mean, these kind of games, it's hard to know. Is it ESPN always does, bad game, bad sign. People probably say bad game, but I don't know. I think there's that little thought of Daniel Jones, New York Giants creeping in, going, "Oh, what were we just riding some crazy magic to this point?" I mean, if you look at the box scores, the big thing that stands out, Indy really looks like they would be the winning team based on that, except for the 6 turnovers that they had, and I think 5 of them were attributed to Daniel Jones.
And he fumbled 3 times, only lost 2, and he had the 3 picks.
So 5 of the 6 total turnovers were Daniel Jones.
I mean, the biggest key in this game is they weren't able to run the ball. Like that
Which
is
is
bottom
surprising.
line.
Surprising.
And it's like the Steelers been
Yeah.
getting gashed on their ground. The Bengals ran the ball against the Steelers.
Pittsburgh Pittsburgh just really, I mean,
I don't understand this league anymore. I genuinely don't. The Pittsburgh defense has been so bad. And against the best offense in the league,
they win. And
they
hold them to
play
20
really well.
points.
And like TJ Watt came alive. How many sacks did he have? 1 sack. And it's like I genuinely just like don't even understand like what's going on anymore. Like this, like the Bengals scored a ton on the Steelers, the Packers scored a ton on the Steelers, but the Colts can't, and they can't run the ball. And I think that honestly, like if they were able to run the ball, I think this game's a little bit different. I mean, 50 passes from Daniel Jones is just not where you want to be.
No.
As a team. And I think we've gone from saying the Steelers are done for. They're not winning the division. This is a huge win for that cause to win the division. Now you're 5-3. Ravens are what? 3-5. So this is a huge win. The Bengals are obsolete now. The Bengals are out of this race. So now it's just gonna come down to these two teams. They haven't played each other yet. So that's be fun to watch. Like Pittsburgh couldn't run the ball at all. 38 yards on the ground, 1.7 per carry.
2 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah, true.
Set up by short fields, just set up from turnovers.
And
I mean, it's a little bit of a thing where if you're Pittsburgh, you're like, we forced 6 turnovers and won by a touchdown.
yeah, no, that's true. That's true. I mean,
that the key was the turnovers.
If you're a Colts fan, you just have to hope that these turnovers are not
If you're the Colts fan, just limit turnovers and you're good.
If it's a thing though, and like Daniel Jones, like this is the breaking point, like you're in trouble because
and I think for most teams out there, if what you're looking at in the film room is something that is fixing a mistake you made versus, man, we just can't run that better. I think that's the difference with a lot of these teams. Going back to the Packers, that's one thing, right? It's unforced errors, right? It's their own mistakes they're trying to limit. The Colts don't turn the ball over 6 times, and we the outcome's different. Like
Mhm.
we just have to look at it a little bit differently. And
I
so I think that it's interesting, really, though, that the two losses were both the same score.
it
Rams twenty seven
I think
twenty,
this is
Steelers twenty
this
seven
is
twenty.
interesting though
Yeah.
because you beat the Dolphins at home,
Yep.
so in a dome. You beat the Broncos at home in a dome. You beat the Titans on the road, but
Yeah.
that's a warm weather climate
At that time of
at
year.
that time of
Yeah.
year. And then you beat the Rams in a
Or you
dome.
lost to the Rams.
Or yeah, you lost the Rams in the dome, but it was
Yep.
close.
Yep.
You beat the Raiders in a dome. You beat the Cardinals or in a dome.
Beat the
You beat the
Chargers
Chargers in a dome. You beat the Titans in a dome. And now you're on the road in
A little bit
November, a little
colder
bit colder
weather.
weather, and I think
Maybe it's
I
a
think
dome
that's
team now, huh?
I do think there's I think we kind of got an inflated view of how good this offense is.
Yeah.
Just because, I mean, if you're playing in a dome, you're just going to play better offensively
Yeah.
most of the time. So, I mean, and now they're home against the Falcons. Or wait, no. If it's 7:30 game, they're international.
That's over in
I don't know where they're playing.
I think it's in Berlin.
So, I mean,
I think it's Berlin game.
I don't know if they have a dome there or if it's open.
I don't know. I'm not
So-
sure what kind of weather it is this time of year.
But then they're at the Chiefs, which is going to be cold.
Yep.
Home against
Dome.
the Texans dome.
Jaguars warm weather.
That's going to be warm.
Seahawks,
At Seahawks
colder.
cold.
Niners
Home.
dome.
So I mean,
Yeah.
they don't have the worst schedule, but I definitely wouldn't be surprised if they lose to the Chiefs, if they lose to the Seahawks. So I mean, they're still going to be a playoff team. They
Yeah.
still probably have control of this division with the Texans losing to the Broncos, but you definitely got to wonder, like, is this team legit, or was it kind of just a good run against some bad teams that you beat? And a big win for the Steelers and Aaron Rodgers, and they just got a system. They're gonna just dink and dunk down the field.
Yep.
And I mean, that was the formula this season. If they could play good defense, they could win games because Aaron Rodgers is good enough to facilitate, and Rodgers playing his best season since the MVP season. So big win for Pittsburgh. Tough one for the Colts. But yeah, that's going to do it for us. A couple other games, but nothing really interesting. We got Cowboys Cardinals tomorrow. Honestly, I think it could be sneaky upset watch for the Cardinals. They've been playing good teams
playing well.
tough.
Mm-hmm. Coming off a bye.
I don't know if it's Murray or Brissett who will start.
Brissett.
Good. I really think with Brissett they have a better chance to win. And the Cowboys defense is really bad, so I think the Brissett can put up some points on them, and I think it could be kind of a shootout. So looking forward to that one. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, all those things. Enjoy and have a great night.